the most recent 3 albums you bought?
I just bought the Temper Trap album, Conditions, which is amazing. And I actually just met them so I was just down in Australia, and they're from Melbourne, my hometown. They're great guys. The album is incredible.
I have to get that because I heard their first song that did really well over here.
Yeah.
I've loved it, so I'm gonna have to get that album.
Yeah, there's a song on the album called Soldier On, which is just a beautiful song. You know, it's just an amazing album. I bought Mike Snow's album, which is great as well, and Passion Pit, actually. I bought that album just a little while ago.
I've never heard of them.
Passion Pit, they're I think they're out of Brooklyn, but they make really nice music.
Wicked.
Yeah.
So what were the, so we mentioned albums, what were the most recent gigs that you've been to, and you know, what's been your best one?
What was the last gig I went to? I'm trying to think. I saw Jay-Z at on 9/11 at Madison Square Garden, which was incredible. Like it was just an amazing show, because obviously it was in New York on September 11, and because the thing is that when the planes hit the buildings on September 11, you know, the incident happened, and then Jay-Z, which album was it? I think it was The Blueprint, came out the day after.
Wow.
So you can imagine how annoying that is for anyone trying to market their album to have that happen the day after their tragedy. But it kind of it was like a mark in history, because he put it out at that time. And then I guess this album that he put out, Blueprint 3, kind of came out. He put it out on September 11th. But the show was amazing. It was like an ode to New York. It was an ode to sort of everything that I guess, you know, he kind of has been putting on records for years, which is really amazing. And he had a bunch of guests come out. Kid Cudi came out. That was kind of cool.
Oh, wicked, yeah.
In the smallest jeans I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I'm wearing skinny jeans, but literally this guy's jeans are so skinny that I feel like if you spray painted his bare legs, it wouldn't look any different from the jeans he was wearing.
Maybe that's what he did.
Maybe it was like sort of acid wash spray paint.
Could be. I think I saw you perform, because you toured, didn't you, with Jay-Z?
Yeah.
And I remember seeing you. You came to my hometown in Bournemouth, which is down south, and I thought you were wicked. How was it like touring with him?
It was great. I mean, Jay-Z's one of those kind of, he's like super humble and down to earth, but he can't help also having this kind of statuesque sort of presidential vibe. Just whenever you see him in a room, you're like, whoa, that's Jay-Z. But he's like a really nice guy. We hung out a couple of times, and yeah, I mean, just watching him put on a show as well is amazing, because you know, you forget how many hits he's had. I mean, he sold more records than Elvis.
I know, I heard that the other day. It's crazy.
And you forget, like, if I'm going through my iPod, there's a couple of, you know, that I have my favourite songs, but then you're kind of like watching play a show and you're like, oh, and then there's that one.
Yeah.
And that one. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But yeah, it's just cool to see, you know, like a veteran like that sort of put on a show. You learn so much from it.
What's your favourite thing about touring? Because my personal favourite when I've been on tour is catering. I absolutely love it.
Man, catering's
It's
awesome.
become a joke. It's good though, isn't it?
So good. It depends like what kind of budgets you're working with. I mean, on the Jay-Z tour, we had, you know, they rolled it out for us.
The best.
You know, on my little tour, it's pretty much sandwiches in the dressing room when I'm touring on my own.
Still good though. What's in the sandwich?
It was pretty. Yeah, I try to keep it healthy, you know. But you know, always ham and cheese. You know, like the kind of things you ate for lunch as a kid. Like I like to remind myself of being a child before I go on stage. And what else? Ginger, a lot of ginger. And then I have this special Chinese syrup. It's like cough syrup.
For the throat.
Yeah, I put that in. I put that with whiskey and hot water, and it's kind of like a hot toddy. That's like a Lil Wayne's version of a hot toddy. Scissor and whiskey.
Nice. I have got to ask you, because you guys probably know I'm slightly obsessed with Kanye. So what was it like doing the Australian tour with him?
That was cool. I mean, it's once again, he's like such an amazing performer that it's just like, it's cool to like be involved with something like that. And that was back in the day. That was like 2004. And it's cool to be involved with something like that, not really have all the responsibility that goes along with it. Like I was kind of getting up there. No one really wanted to see me. They were all there to see Kanye. and I would kind of get up, but then I'd watch his show and just to see how he puts on that amazing production. You know, I'm always trying to learn from people. You know,
he is one person that sort of has control over it all. That's what I really admire about him. When I've I've got to know him and I've looked into his stuff, and he just is so passionate about, he knows what he wants it all to look like, and he has so much input. I think that's incredible.
Yeah, it is. He's borderline control freak, but that's I think sometimes, like really good. Like that's when you get really, really quality, art being put out.